Hello Romance, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Lurkers. We are here. Still don't know who the fuck the murderer is. Fucking 10 episodes in now. Murderer who? Yeah. Then who could we consider a number one suspect from now on? Literally, I'm too dumb for this. Like, do you guys already know who the murderer is? Because I definitely do not. Wouldn't make sense if it's a news reporter. We haven't learned about him too much. Let's just say bullshit. I think we should talk again with Mr. Perkis. I also want to know what's his involvement in this case. My boss is not a murderer. Let's give him the chance to prove his innocence then. Finish your tea, my friends. We're going to the Illustrated. I mean, this man wanted, he wanted to be rich, right? No one was reading his papers until now, right? Barely half an hour later, we arrived, waiting for Perkis in his office. Fits a height, kind of. Burns, to what do I owe the pleasure of visit and new clues? By the way, Chris, well done with today's article. I didn't have the chance to congratulate you earlier this morning, but that drawing is really good. But of course, I didn't expect any less of you. He pats Chris's shoulder with an ecstatic grin. Alright, sir, we are gonna assume you're the murderer. Yes, what is it? Mr. Perkis, you've got quite the fame as a hardworking man with no qualms about the means used to sell more newspapers. You're flattering, Mr. Burns. Gotta say that I've heard as much about you and your detective firms. Maybe, but I was wondering if you would stoop so low as to promote xenophobia and even cause a social uproar, providing the media with some questionable evidence against the Jewish population. Okay, I didn't assume all that. Perkis' pleased smile vanishes. He doesn't seem to mind about most accusations, but this one apparently hits a nerve. That bloody writing near the crime scene. Why would Jack the Ripper blame the Jews? Until now, he seems to enjoy the fame of his deeds. So why would he deflect such fame and accuse other people of the murderers? It doesn't make sense. Exactly. It would be more logical if one of the first people to arrive at the crime scene somehow got to cut a piece of the victim's apron and dropped it on another place to plant fake evidence. You can't prove any of that. You really think so? What about if I had a talk with other police constables who were present at the crime scene last night? Do you really think it would take much insisting until one of them confessed to have accepted a small bribe to turn a blind eye about cutting a piece of fabric? What an interesting idea, but there were many people present at the crime scene. It could have been anyone. A neighbor, a police constable maybe. But you're not denying it. You're not denying it. You and I know perfectly well that's not what happened. Piss off. Get out of my office, Burns. Oh, here's the anger. Chris, you should be more careful about who you mingle with. Oh, it sounds like you're offended, sir. Because you wouldn't be offended. Well, first of all, I think anyone would be offended if they were suspected as the murderer. But if you know you're not the murderer, I don't think you'd be popping off like this. I make a move towards the door, but William puts a hand on my forearm to stop my retreat. That's not how I would handle this if I were you, Perkis. Oh, really? I can't say I'm impressed. Remember, I have a good reputation in the trust of Commissioner Warren, and the same can't be said of you, sadly. Are you threatening me, Mr. Burns? What the heck do you want? Just a couple of things. The first one, that you publish an article disregarding the authenticity of the writing about the Jews. The editor bites his lower lip, thinking hard. He's clearly upset. His newspaper has been the first one in mentioning the writing, since the Met tried to keep it in secret. Other papers will surely add the detail on their evening editions, but backpedaling on that piece of evidence will make the Illustrated look bad. Sensationalist crap and all, the Illustrated isn't known for faking their news. But well, how to put it, Perkis had it coming. What's the other thing? I need to know if you would do more than forging evidence in order to raise your sales. Are you implying you have something to do with the murders? Jesus Christ, Burns. As long as you have an alibi for the times of the crime, you'll be fine in my book. The Met never considered you a suspect, so you were never asked where you were during the murders. I was at home, sleeping peacefully until an errand boy woke me up with the news. You can check with my wife. Was there anyone else in your house apart from your wife? Someone who might have heard whoever came in or out the house? The maid opened the door. Ooh, you got a maid? Are you rich? The maid opened the door for the errand boy. He sleeps just feet away from the entrance door, so whoever enters or leaves the house will rouse her without a doubt. You can go to my house and talk with my maid and my wife if you want, or you can ask the Met to put a man to follow me. I don't care. I'm not a murderer, Mr. Burns. Ask the errand boy. Just an honest editor. Honest my ass. We should report you for trying to cause a riot against the Jews. I told you Mr. Perkins is not a murderer. William said a loud sigh. I apologize for considering you a suspect, Mr. Perkins. Please make sure the article stating the writing is fake is published as soon as possible to avoid further consequences. I can do that, and I can count on your discretion, right? I'm still a little sus. But then again, he can't cut. Well, I feel like whoever the murderer isn't actually a doctor. That I feel like they just read enough information and practiced on animals. Because, you know, that's how it always starts, you know? People killing animals for fun ends up being murderer. Not all cases, I guess. I don't want to assume, but most of the documentaries I've been watching, his eyes throws daggers at me. I'm half annoyed, but say nothing. Of course, he won't bother you anymore. Because if they all think it's a doctor, there's only a few doctors in this area, right? Just lock them all up. Lock them all up and see if the murders continue. If not, then one of them is in here. Let's go, please. Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. I expect to see that article in tomorrow's edition. I'll make sure Chris writes it right now. Me? Of course, aren't you the journalist who covers all the news related to Whitechapel? Chris, meet us for dinner at the Frying Pan, and maybe for the Vigilance Committee later, provided you aren't too tired. He nods in agreement. The three of us leave Perkins' office. Chris goes to his desk to start working, and William and I decide a nap until dinner time will help us to be more awake tonight. So we share a handsome cab and go back to our respective lodging houses. Made a deal. Oh, dude, it's already November! How long is this investigation? Rob, a tonic water and your dish of the day, please. Right away. Chris Forrester takes a slow look around the pub, finally choosing a table near the entrance door. It's a corner of the... Wait, no, wait, I'm not in Chris's point of view or else I wouldn't see him. But it's only empty. Well, no, maybe I would see him. Then as usual, while he waits for his dinner, he grabs the Telegraph, the Times, and the Post, and browses headlines. He already knows everything that happened today, of course, but he's still searching. Perhaps one tiny column will bring some light to his troubled mind. Friday evening, November 9, 1888, 10 pages. Alright, Jack the Ripper claims 5th victim. Woman brutally hacked to death. Scotland Yard continues to investigate sleep. Blah. Sir Charles Warren resigns. Pardon offered to anyone other than the murderer by the Home Office. Murder of the American Wait, what? We are dead? Wait, we are dead? Murder of American detective Mr. Burns and assistant remains unclaimed and unsolved. We are dead? Did I kill us? What? It's been more than a month since Eddie and William died? What the fuck happened? They started to feel unwell the day after the double event happened, and in less than 24 hours the doctors gave up on them. What the fuck? A poison most probably was their bet, but they could do nothing to save them. In the middle of the commotion that followed the deaths of Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes on September 30th, the passing of 2 collaborators of the Metropolitan Police went almost unnoticed. It wasn't until the following week when the big fishes of the Met and the city police started to link their deaths to the Whitechapel monster crimes. Chris Forrester in turn started a series of articles detailing William, Eddie, and his investigation, publishing all the data they had gathered, and then some more, asking for public inquiry about their murderer. Many voices in Whitechapel joined his, and also quite a few from the other side of the Atlantic. Burns' detectives firm even sent some representatives to help the police of London, but it was too late, since the find kept wisely hidden until last night, when he gave the coup de grace, killing his last victim in the most gruesome way the Western world has ever seen. Mary Jane Kelly, a 25-year-old Irish prostitute, was killed inside her lodging house room, located on the ground floor, which gave the Ripper all the time, peace, and quiet to work without being interrupted. Her body was completely mutilated, and her face was gashed in all directions, with most members partly removed. She was beyond recognition, a grotesque mess of blood and flesh. And after that, his job finished and without a noose around his neck. What's left for the murderer to accept to vanish? I'm still thrown off. I'm fucking dead. Except to vanish into the British fog and to stay in the collective imagination as an elusive phantom, as an icon of the Victorian era. I'm dead, bro. The end. Bad end. I got to achieve a bad end. The real people behind Lurkers. Although we don't have any photograph of him, Eddie Nichols is documented as the eldest son of Polly Nichols, and most of his life details are extracted from his grandfather's inquest at court. Casebook victims and casebook official. Wait, this was a real thing? William J. Burns was an American private investigator known as America's Sherlock Holmes. He served as the director of the Bureau of Investigation, aka FBI. There's no data about him ever traveling to Europe. Oh. Oh, I didn't get to read it all. It's fine. 1882 Reynolds map of East London, source blah 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 blah. Additional thanks to all these people. Dude, I actually got that in. That's kind of hilarious. That's actually kind of hilarious. Is it because I accused Mr. Perkis instead of the actual murder, which might have been one of the doctors? Bro, I didn't think William would also die with me. But anyway, I feel like this is the perfect way to end the series off, because usually I do end up getting bad routes. So what the fuck? I'm sorry that you guys will never know who is actually the murderer. I won't either, because usually once I finish a game, like whenever I get a certain route, I just finish and leave the game. I'd never come back because I just have too many games on my plate. But this game is quite interesting. We never found out who the murderer was because your girl picked the wrong choices. But hey, at least I got a love story with Chris for a little bit. I don't know how he feels about that. He just, you know, I guess he just carried on with his life, to be honest. And he was just reading newspapers. Well, he didn't really carry on with his life. He's still trying to find the murderer for us. So that's cute. Sorry, Chris. You had to live alone now. But thank you guys for watching this series. I hope you guys also enjoyed this game. And if you guys want to get this game for yourself, link is always in the description box. As always, definitely tell me who you guys would have gone after. I'm pretty sure you could have either picked Chris or William. At least for my assumption. I went with Chris because, you know, I fell in love with him first. Not really for William, but damn, dude, I fucking died. Not just me, but also my partner. Oh, wow. I have nothing bad to say about this game. I was always like excited to like find out who the murderer was. Obviously, I can never find out who it is because I fucked up, and she was a bad choice. It's not as scary as I thought it would be, so that's nice. And I like the art detail. The art style in this game is quite different, especially with the old-timey newspaper drawings. I found that very interesting because we don't see that anymore. But yeah, no bad comments about this game, just positives. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I will see you guys in the future with a new series or a coming back series. Who knows?